Welcome to another deep dive today. This one's going to be pretty interesting, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at a blog post from kianmeng.org, and it's about a software developer's experience using Elixir and Erlang.
Elixir and Erlang, huh? That sounds pretty technical.
It is pretty technical, but we're going to break it down and find some insights I think anyone can apply, even if you're not a programmer.
I love finding those kinds of connections, where seemingly new stuff actually has these broader applications.
Exactly, and I think this blog post is a great example of that.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What kind of insights are we talking about?
Well, the developer starts by talking about something called error codes.
Error codes.
You've probably encountered them in some form, even if you didn't realize it. Like, have you ever had a program crash on you and give you absolutely no explanation?
Oh, gosh, yeah, all the time. Like, my computer just freezes, and I have no idea what I did wrong.
Exactly. That's basically a missing error code.
So an error code is like a message that tells you what went wrong.
Yeah, in programming, it's basically a signal that tells you whether a task was completed successfully or if something went wrong.
Okay, that makes sense. So why are these error codes so important?
They're especially crucial in situations where you have a bunch of automated tasks running. Like, developers use these things called continuous integration pipelines, which basically run a series of tests automatically.
I see. So if one of those tests fails, you need to know exactly why so you can fix it.
Right. And this actually relates to real life, too. Think of it like a car assembly line.
Okay, I'm listening.
If a robot installs a part incorrectly but doesn't signal an error, the entire production process could be messed up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a great analogy.
So these error codes act like checkpoints, making sure everything is running smoothly.
And alerting you when it's not.
Exactly. The developer actually shares a funny story about this.
Hmm.
They spent ages trying to fix an issue where a program wasn't returning the right error code.
Oh, I can already sense a lesson learned here.
Oh, there is. It turns out that a newer version of the program already had a fix for this exact problem.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and the developer had completely forgotten to check the change log, which is basically a list of updates, and they ended up doing a ton of unnecessary work.
Oof. It's so easy to get tunnel vision when you're focused on a problem.
It really is. Sometimes the best thing you can do is take a step back and see if someone else has already solved the problem.
Right. Like, why reinvent the wheel if you don't have to?
Exactly. It's like, how many times have you struggled to assemble furniture without checking the instructions first?
Oh my gosh, way too many times. And then I realized later there was a much easier way.
We've all been there.
Yeah,
But it's a good reminder to check for existing solutions before diving in head first.
absolutely. Now, I'm curious, what else did this developer uncover?
Well, another interesting point they brought up was about navigating app paths, especially within something called an umbrella app in Elixir and Erlang.
Umbrella app? That sounds pretty technical.
It is a bit, but think of it like a large company with multiple departments.
Yep.
An umbrella app lets developers organize a big project into smaller interconnected applications.
So it's like a way to manage complexity.
Exactly. And the developer needed to find the exact location of a specific piece of code within this structure. They thought a particular function would point them to the right place, but it actually led them to a different directory.
Oh, so like having a map that leads you to the general area, but not the exact address?
A perfect analogy. They realized they needed to use a different function that gave more precise location information, much like using GPS coordinates.
Ah, I see. So it's about using the right tools for the job.
Exactly. And even more importantly, it's about understanding the context you're working in. Whether you're coding or just solving a problem in general, knowing where you are and what resources you have available is crucial.
It's like that saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Sometimes you need to step back to get a broader perspective.
Now, the last insight we'll cover in this part is about testing. Specifically, the developer highlights a best practice for writing tests for something called mixed tasks in Elixir.
Next tasks. I'm already getting lost in the technical jargon. Can we relate this back to something a bit more relatable?
Absolutely. Think of a mixed task like a mini program within a larger project that performs a specific action.
Okay, I'm following.
The developer stresses the importance of using a particular method when testing these tasks to ensure that you get consistent results, regardless of whether it's being tested in a development environment or a live environment.
Consistency. A valuable principle no matter what you're doing.
Precisely. It's like having a recipe that works perfectly in your kitchen but fails miserably when you try it in a professional bakery.
Yeah, you need to adapt your approach based on the environment you're in.
And that's where this best practice comes in.
So we've covered quite a bit already. Error codes, the importance of seeking existing solutions, understanding context, and the value of consistency.
And in the next part, we'll explore how these seemingly technical concepts actually have some really interesting implications for how we approach challenges and make decisions in our everyday lives.
So we've unpacked all these programming concepts from the blog post, but I'm curious to see how they apply to everyday situations.
That's the exciting part. Let's take error codes, for instance.
Hmm.
They might seem like a purely technical thing, but we encounter error codes in our lives all the time, just in different forms.
Hmm. I like where you're going with this. Give me an example.
Okay, imagine your internet suddenly stops working.
Oof, the worst.
Right. So you check the router, you try restarting your computer, but nothing.
Still nothing.
That's essentially your digital world sending you an error code.
Ah, I see. It's a sign that something's not working as it should, and you need to figure out what's causing the problem.
Exactly. And just like a programmer needs to understand what triggered a particular error code, we need to figure out what's causing the internet outage. Is it a problem with the service provider? Faulty equipment? Maybe even construction disrupting a cable somewhere.
Right. Figuring out the root cause is key to finding the right solution. Just like with those programming error codes, ignoring the problem won't make it go away.
Now remember that aha moment the developer had about checking for existing solutions. That principle is gold in everyday life.
Oh, absolutely. It's so easy to just jump into problem-solving mode without taking a moment to see if someone else has already tackled a similar challenge.
Just sure say, like, let's say you're struggling to organize your overflowing inbox.
Oh, don't remind me.
You could spend hours trying to create some complex system from scratch.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a helpful app, a blog post with tips, or even a friend who's a total email organization guru, all offering ready-made solutions.
It's about working smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah.
Tapping into that collective wisdom can save us so much time and frustration.
And just like that developer learned from the changelog, we can learn from the experiences of others who've been there and done that.
Speaking of learning, the developer's experience with navigating app paths within an umbrella app has some interesting parallels to how we make decisions in life.
You're referring to that concept of understanding context.
Precisely. The developer needed to know their exact location within the app structure to access the right piece of code. Similarly, the decisions we make in life should be informed by the context of the situation.
It's about considering the bigger picture, right? The factors at play, the potential consequences. All those things contribute to making a sound decision.
Absolutely. Think about it. A marketing strategy that works brilliantly for a startup might be a complete disaster for a well-established corporation. The context shapes the decision-making process.
And just as the developer had to use the appropriate function to access the right location, we need to apply the appropriate tools and approaches based on the specific situation we're facing.
It's about adaptability and being mindful of the environment we're operating in. That brings us to the last concept, consistency. The developer emphasized its importance when writing tests for those mixed tasks.
Right. And while the technical details might not be relevant to everyone, the underlying principle is universally applicable. Consistency is key, whether you're building a habit, managing a project, or even just trying to live by your values.
It's about creating stability and reliability. When we're consistent in our actions, we build trust and credibility. Think about a friend who's always there for you no matter what. Their consistency makes them a reliable source of support.
Or imagine a company that consistently delivers high-quality products. That consistency builds brand loyalty and customer satisfaction.
Consistency, in a way, is a reflection of our integrity. It shows that we're committed to our goals, our values, and the people around us.
So we've taken these programming concepts and discovered how they resonate with our everyday experiences. But there's one final thought-provoking question we want to leave you with.
Oh, I do love a good question to ponder. What is it?
If we think of ourselves as these complex programs navigating this thing called life, what are our own personal error codes?
Whoa, that's a powerful question. It really gets you thinking about those signals we send out when things aren't quite right, both physically and emotionally.
And that's exactly what we'll explore in the final part of our deep dive. Join us as we delve into the world of self-awareness and uncover those hidden messages within ourselves. So we've been exploring all these parallels between programming and everyday life, and it's pretty fascinating, right?
Yeah, it's amazing how those technical concepts have such deeper meanings.
Totally. So in this final part, we're going to tackle that question we posed earlier. If we think of ourselves as these complex programs living in this world, what are our own error codes?
That's a good one. It makes you think about those signals we send out when something's not quite right.
Exactly. Just like those programs, our internal systems have ways of telling us when something's off. Those signals can show up in different ways, physically, emotionally, even mentally.
like feeling tired or anxious or having trouble focusing. Those could all be error codes, right?
They could be. They might be signs that something's out of balance or a need isn't being met.
And just like ignoring an error in a program can cause it to crash, ignoring these internal signals can really impact our well-being.
It's like a car with a flashing oil light on the dashboard.
Mm.
If you keep ignoring it, eventually the engine could seize up.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So the big takeaway here is self-awareness. The more we pay attention to those internal cues, the better we can address the underlying issues.
It's like becoming a detective of our own minds and bodies, asking, why am I feeling this way? Is there something I need to change?
And just like that developer who learned from the changelog, we can learn from others who faced similar challenges. We can look to books, podcasts, therapists, mentors, even friends and family.
It's all about building a support system and tapping into that collective wisdom.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a challenge. Take some time this week to think about your own error codes. What signals are you getting, and what are they trying to tell you?
And most importantly, what can you do to address those signals and create a more balanced, fulfilling life? It's a journey, but it's worth it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time for another exploration into the unexpected connections all around us.